All right, we're back, fight fans. It's the DAZN Boxing Show. I go by the name of Barak.
And I'm Barak, the boxing bully.
And we all know we saw a spectacular performance this weekend by Dmitry Bivol, and we have to get into details as far as that fight right now on the opening bell. Look, Barak, going into this fight, Dmitry was going in as a favorite, but there was that, that thought of, hey, he's fighting such a big, skilled guy who's undefeated, a southpaw. This fight is not going to be easy. I said it myself. I didn't see the fight I didn't see the fight playing out this easily. But all credit to Dmitry. I'm not gonna go on here, Barak, and talk about what I've been reading on social media. People saying, oh, that's when you build the guy's record up who never fought anybody. This is what happens. I don't agree with it. I think Dmitry Bivol, I said it last week that the confidence level is high after beating a Canelo Alvarez. He's feeling himself, and not in a bad way. So I want to give him all the credit and not those shots at Ramirez in order to give him any credit at all.
I'm not upset when people mention that, because I believe at one time that was facts. He didn't really fight nobody at 168. He had tough fights with Jesse Hart. But regardless of the fact, I thought he was a very good boxer, regardless. And then he came up to 175, and it's like he became this new juggernaut, knocking everybody out. So I thought it was going to be a competitive fight no matter what, even though I thought Bivol is the better fighter and the more skilled fighter. Bivol surprised the heck out of me, because think about it. You're on the back foot fighting a small guy, Canelo, who in my opinion is a 154-pounder, and you're on the front foot fighting Ramirez. I guess you don't want to be long range. Yes, because Ramirez is bigger, he's taller, he's longer, so you had to be in his chest. And my man, he really pressed him since the first round, caught him right before the end of the bell with a hard shot. I'm like, this is the Bivol that's going to win fans. Already his character, being humble and being a winner, is attractive to some. Right. But when you press the action like that, you're gaining more fans. He definitely surprised me.
Yeah, listen, we need to update the pound for pound list. That will be coming out soon. He deserves to go up a notch or two. I don't know. He's shot.
It's very tough to move a guy up a notch by fighting Ramirez when everybody on that list are some really bad dudes who's been really having some big fights. I don't know if he can just pass guys like Spence and and Canelo and you beat Canelo and can't pass Canelo.
I mean, I don't know. I figured that. I think we had a prior conversation of after this fight, maybe it might be a good time to update. But we'll take a look at the list and we'll see if there's an opportunity for him to move up. And look, of course, it's not a championship fight, but going into the fight, we have to stop doing this, right? In retrospect, we always kind of have a different opinion than we do before the fight. It happens all the time. When we're going into a fight, we're saying, hey, this guy is a good fighter. This is a real competitive fight. This is not going to be easy to fight for him. If he beats this guy easily, we're gonna, he's proving more to the boxing public, and maybe he should go up on the list. And then after, a guy beats a guy easily, we start saying, oh, he wasn't really anybody. He didn't beat no credible fighter. Who's credible? Only champions? So champions are credible.
He is a champion. He's just not a champion at division.
All right, then. So why can't we move a guy up?
Listen, because we're not talking about in a division. We're talking about pound for pound. These guys are great. They're all great fighters. It's hard to fight somebody like that and say, okay, now we're going to move you up above Crawford. We're going to move you up above Spence and Inoue because you beat Ramirez. That's very hard. These guys are great. It's not
right. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. So what you're saying is the only time a guy can move up on a pound for pound list is if he fights a championship fight.
I say it's the quality and caliber of the opponent. So if he were to fight for all of the belts, just like Devin Haney got put on, guys like Devin Haney, guys who became undisputed, got put on the list very quickly. Yes, I would say so, because it's the pound for pound list.
That goes without saying. If he beats Beterbiev, who wouldn't move him up on the list? But
that makes more sense to me, because how you gonna move him up against? All right, you gonna move him over Spence now?
No, it's not that.
That's what
We
I'm
have to take a look at the list. But I don't want to get to this place. If I feel like a fighter is good and a guy beats him easily, better than I thought, so I'm looking at him, he's better than I thought. So he might be better than another guy on the list. And I don't need him to be undisputed to say that.
I understand
guy got to be
that
undisputed to move up.
That list is some qualified guys. It's hard. It's just hard because they're all great. Most of them undefeated. They're all great. That's all. That's
all right.
I'm not saying to our eyes, yes, we can say, yo, this guy is better. But
Barak, are they all performing, dominating a fight the way Bivol did against Ramirez?
The guys on the top. The guys in the top 5, yes.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get into it. You know, point being is that Dmitry Bivol showed the world that he's one of the best fighters in the world. His confidence level is at an all-time high, and I can't wait to see who's next. I would prefer him to go down to 168 to try to be undisputed and fight Canelo in his division where he is undisputed champ. You know, yes, maybe give Canelo a bit of some sort of edge on that aspect. You know, maybe that will help him out. But I know Canelo's pedigree. I know he's going to say, no, I want to beat him where he beat me at 175, even though that isn't a natural weight class for him. Either way, look, if I had it my way, Barak, Dmitry Bivol will be fighting Arthur Beterbiev next. Yes. Not him fighting Yard, no disrespect to Yard, but I think that's the natural progression. I think that needs to be the next fight. But I was super impressed with Dmitry Bivol.
I like that. I mean, Yard already has the fight scheduled. Give him that. But I say that, think about this. But Bivol told us a couple years back he would go down to 168. That's because at that time he didn't make that money yet. He didn't make the fame yet. He was looking for more publicity. He was looking for more fame. He was looking for more money. He got it now. Now there's no need to fight Canelo in his mind, as opposed to increasing his legacy by fighting for undisputed at light heavyweight. So that kind of makes sense to me. But so if Canelo and Bivol never fought before, then I would say Bivol moving down to 168 is great. Fight for the undisputed at 168. That's great. But now we leave room to say he's weight drained and Canelo beat him. In reality, what we should say, Canelo's a small guy. 168 is really above Canelo's natural weight class. If Bivol goes down to 168, Bivol still has the advantage. Basically. Yeah, I mean, look, that's still a naturally bigger guy, but it would people would favor Canelo because Canelo reigned at that division. Yeah,
I'm not sure Canelo still goes in as a favorite, especially after this performance. But you know, we talk about Dmitry already said that he'll never go up, that he doesn't see himself ever going up to cruiserweight, right? That this is his weight. So there's only one fight at 175. So moving down to 168 is not a bad idea when you don't have, how many, are you done after Beterbiev? Are you gonna retire? No. So the next step would be going down to try to be undisputed at 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez. I think that's just that's a big fight because.
See, but the thing is, think about this. The legacy for winning at 175 is huge, in my opinion. The legacy
is that enough to retire? Is that enough to retire?
No, I wouldn't say that.
So who else
that's
is
an
there
opinion.
to fight?
That's an opinion. Who cares?
I'm saying, who else is there to fight?
No, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. The legacy at 168 is undisputed. Fighting a smaller guy that you already beat, it's a little bit different than beating.
No, I'm not saying you can only do one or the other. I'm not saying that he can only do one or the other. What I'm saying is that he can eventually do that. But I think that the next best thing is going down to 168 and becoming undisputed, which is still legacy. You can say, oh, it's against a smaller fighter. But what I'm saying is, that's not the only fight for Dmitry Bivol. Arthur Beterbiev, and him becoming undisputed at 175. Then what? He's not going up to cruiserweight.
I got that, but check this out. If Bivol goes down to 168 or just fights Canelo at 165 or whatever, it doesn't matter. But if Bivol fights Canelo and loses, now you don't get the Beterbiev fight, and now your legacy really is.
Why don't you get the Beterbiev fight? That's at a different weight class.
Because Canelo's going to get that Beterbiev fight more than likely. I'm thinking that they're going to fight. No, first of all, they're going to fight at 175 because Canelo's not going to have that.
I'm talking about 168.
He's not going to have that. You know what I mean? So now either Canelo gets that fight or Beterbiev fights somebody else because you lost. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo would get that fight, or maybe he'll relinquish that belt, and then Beterbiev is going to fight for that belt for Undisputed somebody else, you know, and that's the thing. But if he loses to Beterbiev, it's no real loss. It's not as big as a loss because you already got the Canelo fight. You already got the 10 million or whatever he got. You know what I mean? So you don't need the Canelo fight anymore, but you need the Beterbiev fight so you don't put nothing in between that. That's how I feel.
All right, shifting gears, Barak, Chantel Cameron proves to the world she's a better boxer than Jessica McCaskill. It was a little messy to fight. She held her ground there when it was time to shake it up in the middle of the ring. There was a lot of clinching going on. A little wild at times, but Cameron showed that she was a better boxer. I mean, she's on a pound for pound list. She showed that she deserves to be here. I don't think it was Jessica's best performance. Maybe it was the weight class. Who knows? Maybe she's more comfortable at 147. But kudos to Chantel Cameron. I mean, she showed out.
I don't think there's room for any excuses. I don't think McCaskill wants to make an excuse. I'm sure Rick Ramos, her trainer, doesn't want to make an excuse. So, yeah, we're not going to say that. It'd be interesting to talk to her to find out, because you never know what fighters are going through, but who cares? You know, great fighters don't make excuses. Now, it was a great fight. I can tell you styles make fight. That same styles that McCaskill had looks good other times when she's stopping girls in the ring, you know, but Cameron, she was too sharp. Like you said, she was technical. I did see one thing though. I did see that McCaskill, the last 3 rounds, she kind of took over the fight. So think about it. If it was 12 rounds, maybe it would have been a different outcome. I don't know. So why couldn't McCaskill turn that on earlier? I don't know. Maybe it's just Chantel Cameron was just that good, but something had to switch. Something had to change where McCaskill was able to land more punches the last 3 rounds, you know, especially the last round. So she turned it up. Something changed. I don't know, but kudos to Chantel Cameron. Wow, Undisputed. Not too many people get that. This is the era of Undisputed. The women are looking amazing.
In other news, over in Minnesota, David Morrell Jr. for Aidos Yerbosino Lee. And it was a tough fight for him. He landed a lot of big shots, and unfortunately, Aidos is in a coma currently right now. So we're sending prayers to him and his family and his team. Hopefully he pulls through. He didn't look good in that fight. Barak, I mean, I don't want to blame anybody. A ref, it's just an unfortunate situation. I think that in my opinion, there has to be times where maybe a referee, maybe a doctor, maybe somebody involving that fight can detect when a guy is getting hit too many times and doesn't have a shot in winning the fight. And I know this is boxing, so I know we always got to give the fighter an opportunity to land a big shot, score a big knockout at the end. But I think that we have to start intervening at moments where we feel like this guy hasn't won a round. He doesn't seem to be able to hurt the other opponent. Should we allow him to continue to take punishment to the end of the fight? Should we allow that? We have to work on that.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Even within your statement was a contradiction. You said we always got to give the fighter a chance to land that big shot.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that's the I guess unwritten rule in boxing. But what I'm saying is maybe we need to change that.
Well, that's the thing. That is the contradiction. Where's the right balance? There's no perfect balance, I guess. So what we can do is probably not blame anybody and understands that these are the risks that these fighters sign up for, and it's very, very scary, you know. But
let me ask you a question. Barak. Let me ask you a question. In watching that fight, right? Yeah. Just you yourself. At any point in that fight, before it was stopped in the last round, did you say to yourself, "This fight needs to be stopped. There's no sense in it continuing"? Did you say that? Did your conscience say that?
I've said that. Yes, I said that.
And you said that many times before, right?
Right. I've said that in plenty fights before where.
So that's the balance. That's the balance, Barak.
Wait. That's it. Wait. I've said it in plenty fights before where the tides switched. You understand? Diego Corrales, but forget fights. Like, I'm talking about recent fights. I've said it before where the tide switched. But yes, I think boxing has already changed. We'll never get Diego Corrales and Jose Castillo again. We'll never get a fight like that again. So I think the ethics in boxing already changed, where referees, doctors, corners are really trying to protect their fighters. But we're going to have situations like that. And you don't play boxing. It's just a scary, scary sport. That's why we give our prayers. That's why we give our thoughts. But sometimes you just can't escape the inevitable. These guys are punching each other in the head. Right. You know, so I don't want to blame anybody.
And Barak, I'm not blaming. I don't mean to come off like I'm blaming a ref or anybody else. But if I had to point a finger, right, in situations like this, at anybody, right?
It's the game itself.
No, it's the hurt business. But if I had to look at anybody twice, it would probably be the corner of the fighter. Those are the guys that are right face to face with the fighter, looking at the fighter's eyes. Yes, they're motivating him. They want him to continue to win. But the trainer knows best, and the trainer knows, hey, my guy is not going to be able to beat this guy. Should I allow him to continue to take punishment throughout this fight? And I think that maybe trainers need to look in the mirror sometimes and make those hard decisions in those moments. Sometimes that decision is difficult.
100%. I do believe that the trainer, the corner, is the first line of defense for the fighter. And then you have the referee. He's there to protect the fighter. And then you have the doctors and everybody else ringside. Yeah. So yeah, it is the trainer who should make that first call. It's just tough, man. It's tough when you know your fighter and you feel like he's experienced this before, he's come back from this before, and he can go on. But then it's like, are we even designed to take that much punishment? No, we all want to go back home to our families. This is a sad case.
And hopefully, by some miracle, he pulls out of this coma and they be able to perform some surgeries to get him back to his family. So all we can do now is pray and hope and hope for the better, unfortunately. All right, That's our show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.